Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with a brand new anime reaction. I'll be starting Rock is a Lady's Modesty episode number 1. So this is something that I have had my eyes on from when it was when I saw like the lineup, when I saw like and read the synopsis. I've had my eyes on this and I wanted to react to this. Now I don't know how this is going to be, what type of story it is, but from what I've seen in the trailer and the synopsis, it seems like it's right up my alley because I really love girls band like shows. um one of my most favorite animes are a few of them are shows which are basically girls rock bands. For example, Keon is one example. Bochi the Rock, Girls Band Cry, these type of shows. So I saw this and I was like, yeah, this will probably be something that I really like. So I'm gonna give this a try, and I'm sure I'll like it. And not only does it have girls rock band, it also has Ojo Samas in it. So it's like two things that I really love. So it's a very interesting combination as well. I do wonder how this is gonna go. And there will probably be a lot of crazy sections, like literally like Ojo sama starting a rock band is something crazy. I don't think I've ever thought about that. So this should be interesting. Anyways, let us begin, and yeah, let us get started. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Right. Obviously, this is a Ojo-sama school type of setting, I'm guessing. Wow. Oh! Damn! The change in. Damn. Yo. Right, so she's a drummer, this girl? Wow. Okay. Rock is a lady's modesty. While we have this girl here. Oh, this is the other girl, right? I think she's on the guitar. Suzunomiya. Oh wow, her name is also. Her hair is crazy. Oh, she has a drill hair. Oh, wow. Damn. Oh, what just happened here? Sweating. Wait, is she not an Ojo-sama? She probably is an Ojo-sama, but she just doesn't like. Oh, there you go. I was right. Yep. Okay. Oh no. Ocean Girls Academy. Hmm. Whoa. F1 racer, major bank executive. Yep. Hmm. Constant, yeah. Damn. Yep, I knew she was doing that. Probably, so that. Oh, that's the. Hmm. Well, barely. Damn, that's a mouthful. What? Hey, what happened? Um. Uh. We define late leg. Um. Right. Huh. Wow, the transitions are crazy. Right. Noble maiden. Yayoi Takayanagi. Damn. Oh wow. Hmm. Oh, there's the other one. The drummer. I saw her in the trailer. She reminds me of Yumeko, Jabami Yumeko, from Kakegurui. No. The Ojo-sama of Ojo-samas. Right. Damn, flowers are blooming. Right. Bruh. Hey yo, what's happening? Hmm. That. Damn. Kurogane. Well, I also did. Otoha. Wow, the names are all like Otoha. Oto is like sound. Daughter of prominent politician. Hmm. Runner up. Oh, right. So I have to defeat her to. Yep, I was gonna say. Oh, the pig. Yo, yeah. Wait, why does she have a? Does she play guitar as well? She was drumming a few moments ago, right? I guess she's a musician, so I'm guessing makes sense. She has a. Well, ooh, damn. You should not yawn like that because you're an Ojo-sama. Literally said that. Yep. It's too damn strict. These Ojo-samas are tough. Hmm. Right, okay, so that's like her. Hmm. Hmm. What the hell is that? Oh, right. Oh my god. Uh, yeah. Peculiar. Hmm. Can she even? Yeah, I was gonna say, reveal that in front of so many people. Damn. Hmm. Well, she's probably going to meet her privately and try to give it to her. Yep. Damn, this is a school? They have a whole staircase and everything? Like, what? Wait, what? Damn. This is probably where she practices. Yeah, okay. Hmm. Oh, damn. Oh, the bird finally flew out of the cage. Yep, someone's drumming. She's like, what the hell? Oh, hello there. Ah, right. Hmm. Well, but you know my secret, so. Right. Ah, what are you talking about? Yeah. Exactly. Ah, but I don't play the guitar. I know what a guitar pick is. Like, I guess she's an Ojo-sama, so. Oh boy. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. She looked at it. Yeah, that's a better proof to that you play the guitar. Damn. Hmm. Damn. Hmm. Oh, she's gonna. Oh no. Bruh. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. She probably plays it pretty well. Oh, damn. Oh, she's picking it up. Oh boy. Damn. I think she's going. Yeah. Right. Wow. Yeah. What? Right. Mm. She's sweating. While, Kurogane, right? That's her name. She's just like, it seems like she's just like having fun. Oh, she's also sweating. Okay. Damn. Right. Damn. Yeah, it was her dad. I was thinking that it was probably her dad in the flashback. Oh! Oh my god. Hey! She's not done yet. Okay, well. Hmm. For a rich girl. Oh, this. Wait. Still ongoing. Wait, what? Damn. Sparkler. Wait, what? Yeah. Bruh. Oh my god. Well, she's a rock star. Makes sense. She would. Oh wow, it's just. Put back her poker face on. Goki gayi ho? Yep. Oh no. Damn. Just insulted her and just left. Oh god. She was so shocked she couldn't even understand what happened. Damn. Right. Okay, that was it. Good God. Right. That was a great start. I really liked it. I don't know, about everyone else, but I really liked it. Obviously, I like I was expecting this to be like a whole like a rock band kind of thing, and there's Ojo Samas and everything. But the ending part was pretty funny where she was like, "Oh, for a rich girl, you did a good job," and she was like, "Ha, screw you, you suck. Get off the guitar. You ain't worth it," and just left. And oh my god, they obviously um these I'm assuming they all of these people will be little by little they'll play songs and everything and they'll become rock stars or whatever. So yeah, you know what, it makes sense, their whole like personality, of just this crazy personality, it makes sense, these people are rock stars. If to be a rock star, you need that thing, like that'll make you different from the others, like that aggressiveness, that like that thing within you. And even what's her name, Suzunomiya, right? Even Suzunomiya also kind of had that, that part, but she tried to kill it off by just suppressing herself. As you can see, she was like trying to suppress her hobbies, her passion, because obviously now she has like a goal. She needs to become the what did they call it? The noble maiden or something like that. She needs to become that. So for that, obviously, she needs to be like a proper lady, like a Ojo-sama, like So yeah, obviously, Ojo-sama and Rock doesn't really fit well. So she had to give up all of that, even though Rock was probably something that very close to her. As we saw, she used to like jam with her father, and I'm guessing her father passed away, and that's why her mother remarried. As we got to know like previously. Um, so this is probably part of her memories with her dad, and just like now that she has to give up all those away, she's not having it, she's not liking it. Those are precious memories, but she that's forcing herself. But here, as soon as Otoha said that, oh yeah, you might suck, that's why you're not actually playing, immediately that brought into question her, like the what do you call it, her memories and everything with her dad, that was like directly under attack. So she got pissed off. So she was like, "Nah, man, what is this rich girl saying? Huh? She's born with a silver spoon in her mouth. What does she know about rock? I'll teach her." And she tried to do it, but in the end, Otoha took the ending away. Just by the end of it, she was the one who took the show away and insulted her and just left. So there you go. That's how this whole thing began. Now I do know a few other characters will join, I think, later on, and more people will come, like on the instruments and everything. I think two more people will come. We have one drummer, we have one guitarist. So I'm guessing a bassist will come, maybe like a keyboard, someone who plays the keyboard, something like that, maybe. So I'm assuming the other two characters that we saw in the poster of the anime, they will join soon. But for now, these two are the only members. Not really member. Why am I saying as if they've already decided to play together? Not really members, but they just like did a little session together. And yeah, but we all know where this is going to go. Obviously, she's definitely going to join this little group. and from here onwards, they're going to get more people, and they'll make a proper band. So yeah. So overall, I really enjoyed the first episode, and they did a good job of like a little introduction at the beginning, and then it went to the main cream of the episode, like the main body, where we had you know, these two meet and all that stuff. Now I'm gonna make a prediction. I might be wrong. I think the person that gave the pick to the girl, what's her name, Otoha, uh, is probably her, Suzunomiya. You know, because she played the guitar, she must have had that pick at some point. Maybe she gave it to someone, and I think later on we'll probably get an episode where they'll reveal that these two characters, you know, like had met when they were kids or something like that. I don't know. Again, it's just a basic prediction. A lot of shows does this, you know, and I feel like this is probably going to be the same as that. And I think Otoha recognizes her. Suzunomiya doesn't recognize her. Otoha recognizes her, and she deliberately, like, you know, dropped the pick over there at that scene, because, you know, in that scene you can see, she, you know, she picks up the pick from the ground, and immediately after that you can see a scene where Otoha is walking, but you know, in a like a very mysterious way they show her walking away. So I think she deliberately dropped that there just so that she can bring her to her session. And the next day when she was looking for the, again, maybe I'm going a bit too, like, you know, like detective on this, but I think that is exactly what happened. You know, she dropped it deliberately so that she could, the next day she acted as if she lost it, and you know, she went off to the others, you know, the old school house, and she knew that Suzunomiya will follow her to give it back to her, and that's when she was going to ask her to play with her. I feel like that was all a plan. Again, I might be completely wrong. You know, maybe she genuinely dropped it, and all that stuff happened after that. That might be the case, but I think this was all a plan that she made, and so that she can, you know, like play a session with her. um, and like I said, I also think the person that gave that pick to her was Suzunomiya herself when she was a kid. They probably met as a kid somewhere, and you know, Uta probably, for Uta that was like maybe like a big part of her life, which made her, you know, go into drumming. You know, maybe the meeting with Suzunomiya was something that was very prominent, like because, you know, that's how most stories go, you know. So I can, I there's a 50% chance that's how it's going to go. But you know, like, you know, whatever it is, I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to, you know, whatever we'll get to see. Now, overall, everything looks good. The animation looks, you know, like quite good as well. It's very bright and colorful. There was a little bit of a 3D, like, you know, section when they were, you know, playing the guitar and everything. But you know, you know, it's pretty normal. Like, you know, these type of like things, a lot of like animes do it like that. Girls Band Cry in itself was completely 3D. You know, so I'm not really bothered by that. But everything else, everything like looks really good. It's very bright, it's very colorful, and the character designs are actually really good. I really like the character designs, like Suzunomiya's character design, Otoha's character design. You know, like especially Suzunomiya. I don't know, like her yellow and green, like, you know, like hair, like color with the whole drill Ojo-sama hair. But it's not a typical drill Ojo-sama hair. It's like a twin tail, but then it becomes a drill. Yeah. So it's interesting. I like it. Same with Otoha. Otoha, I said, like, you know, Otoha really reminds me of Jabami Yumeko, and after seeing what she did in the end, yeah, I feel like she reminds me more of Jabami Yumeko now, because that her whole crash out in the end when she was like, ah, you suck, go piss off, like, you know, like and just left like that. And then immediately putting on the poker face. That's literally Jabami Yumiko when she gambles. And the way she went goes crazy sometimes. Yeah, but yeah, and even her character design is literally Jabami Yumiko. I do wonder if, whoever made this, you know, manga or anime probably had like an inspiration from Jabami Yumiko, because everything about her screams Jabami Yumiko. But either way, you know, yeah, she's just she's something. Her whole crazy part that comes out when she like is drumming. You can see like sometimes you can see she was like smiling like a mad woman. She was just smiling, he like this, and then just drumming. Yeah, so right. Now, a few things I need to check here. First and foremost, I am guessing she kind of explained this, Suzunomiya, at the beginning, but so her mother remarried. Okay, let me check this. Um, when she was like acting and like an Ojo-sama, here we go. Man, that was too close. I don't know jack about classical music. Lucky for me, I remember that one song from which I studied yesterday. The stuff ain't real music, it puts me to sleep. Cannot let my schoolmates know. I'm only part of the Suzunomiya family because my mom got remarried. There you go. So, I can't let them get that I'm one of the common. So yeah, it's pretty obvious, as we saw those little flashbacks that we saw of her practicing with her father. That was her birth father, I'm guessing, and her birth mother we already saw. that girl, that lady. So I'm guessing this was like the family. Her father probably passed away somehow, and her mother got married to this person, this rich, like person. And now that she's remarried, she was a common folk, but now she's like one of the Ojo Samas, and she has had to give up like rock and everything because of that. And because of this situation, she wants to be like at the top. She wants to accomplish something, to probably do something with her life. It makes sense. That's why she's like so particular about like keeping her facade and like that whole thing, and wanting to become like this person, the noble maiden or whatever they're called, that whole thing. um yeah, the section where they showed her mother talking to her, that part. um okay, I just realized something. Is that her natural hair color, or does she dye her hair? Because her mother has like a green hair, you can see. You can see her hair also has like a greenish hue to it at the end. But the rest of her hair is like blonde. Like it's like yellow completely. So I doubt she dyes her hair. I doubt that. Like, she's going to like an Ojo Sama school. I don't think those are allowed, right? But yeah, it's interesting. Anyways, so like I said, this section you see where she's like talking to her mother. There was a girl, a pink-haired girl, who was like scowling and who left. So this, I am assuming, is her stepsister. I think this is a stepsister, which means this is probably her father's biological child, her stepfather's biological child. Again, I'm guessing. I might be wrong. But the way she was scowling and everything, it did seem like she was like her stepsister or something. And if she is actually her stepsister, these two probably won't really hit it off that well, but probably by the end of it, they'll, I don't know, maybe they'll get along better. They'll probably clash heads, but everything will be fine by the end. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but let's wait and see. Wait, is she? You know what? Let me just check something. Let me check the poster of the show. I need to check who are the characters that will be the main bandmates. Rock is a lady's modest. Like, because I do remember there's a blue-haired girl who will join. There's another girl who is there. I cannot remember her properly. Okay, yeah. So there it is. There's this blue-haired girl, and then there's this white-haired girl. So these two girls will join later on. And yeah, I'm from the poster I can assume one is on the keyboard and the other is on the bass, I think. Yeah, so it makes sense, like obviously if it's a rock band you will need a bassist and like a keyboard as well sometimes. Yeah, this is like the bare minimum, I guess. Sometimes you can have two guitars, as a backup guitar, one backup guitar. Yeah. But obviously a bassist and a keyboard, like playing a person who plays the keyboard, that is necessary as well. So yeah, we'll get them in the future. Right, and there you go. That is what happened today. The ending part, obviously, you can see, like when these two were playing together. She was like, what the hell does this Ojo-sama know about rock? I'll show her. But then she realized that she fell into a trap because, like, Otoha was like overwhelming her with her, like drumming. It's as if like it's like a rose vine, like literally just surrounding her and grabbing her and just stopping her. um and but obviously since she has had in her head, she was thinking about her memories with her father. She cannot let it go down like that, so she pushes back, tries to overwhelm her back. But it continues for a while, but in the end she's the one who takes the cake, as you can see. um right. And there you go, that's what happens. The ending part was hilarious. She went with a, like a, for a handshake, and she was like, good job, you did good. Ota's like, yeah, but you suck. What the hell was that? You should stop playing the guitar. And left. Oh, and the way she said that was hilarious. Yo. She's showing her the finger as well. And then, like, immediately, then she's like, just, after that whole outburst, she just goes back and she's like, oh, good day. And she just leaves after that. Oh boy. Okay. And there you go. That is the beginning of this show. I am really looking forward to the upcoming episodes. I don't know. I liked it. I really liked it. I'm looking forward to whatever they have in store for us. Um, right. Now that was that. That was my reaction to my overall impression to this episode. Now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. Yeah, let me see if I missed anything worthy of discussion. So at the beginning, you can see the whole section with all them kind of explaining how this school is like the elitist of the elite school, with all the rich girls there. Every single girl is like some kind of a prominent person. Like someone's father is like a some kind of politician. Someone's father is like some kind of a something, like crazy stuff. The high rank of, like, the top echelons of society, or whatever you call them. Yeah. And all these Ojo Samas are here, sheltered from the outside world, uh, just doing Ojo Sama stuff, like having tea parties, maybe, I don't know, like doing other stuff, like talking about classical music, it's kind of like, just honing their skills and the stuff. Yeah. So that's basically all of these girls. Obviously, no boys allowed. This is not, obviously, no. I'm guessing there's no male staff here as well. Everyone is female, I'm assuming. Like even like the staff members and everything. Um, and obviously they kind of compare this to a bird in a cage, like a cage. Every single Ojo Sama, like school and stuff like this, they always compare it to a cage. And inside the cage, there's always a cannery, and the canneries are usually depictions of the Ojo Samas, or the children inside that school, who are literally a bird in a cage. They have no idea what goes on to the outside world. Like in the common world, they all live in this fantastical, like, little box where everything is perfect and everyone's just like, just like sharing pleasantries with each other, talking about classical music and tea parties, and just, like doing stuff like that. So that is the cage, and the bird is the the girls trapped in it. Um, and we have Suzunomiya here, depicted by that bird, as you can see, who is just trapped here in this cage currently. And as you can see this later on, but when she goes to that outhouse, the school, the bird actually leaves the cage. So that is like an indication that yes, she has been able to go out of that cage. Her meeting with Otoha is like the trigger to that. Like she has been able, because up until now she was like trying to suppress her everything, and she was like, oh, like I'm going to just not play rock anymore. I've given that up, even though that was part of her memories with her father. She was like suppressing everything, and that's why she was like the bird in the cage. But then when she went there and she tried to leave, Otoha's like, you might suck, you probably suck, that's why you're leaving, kind of like agitated her. And that was when she broke out of that cage, when she turned back and went and picked the guitar up. So yeah, anyways, so we see that, and then we get to meet the girl here in Suzunomiya. Okay, so she is talking about these classical music, and everyone's talking about the classical music, and she's like talks about her favorite classical music or whatever. But as you can see, she's like drinking, eating like this, and then in her head she's like, god damn it, this is tough. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Thank god I studied this. Oh my god, crazy. Imagine going to school, and if you're when you're talking to your friends, you have to study about stuff so that you don't get. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, this is the Ocean Girls Academy. Yes, and she is the daughter, or like like obviously now, like she's not the biological daughter, mother remarried, but now she is the daughter of real estate mogul of the Kanto region, Tadashi Suzunomiya. Yeah, and she is Suzunomiya. What's her full name? Wait a minute. Let me check. Uh, like I remember the other girl's name. Her name was Otoha, and her name is Lilisa. Okay, Lilisa Suzunomiya, while Kurogane Otoha. All right. Both of them has like something to. Both of their names has something to do with sound, and like for example, Suzunomiya. Suzu is, I think, bell, right? Suzu means bell, I think. Yeah, Suzu means bell. The bell. And Otoha. Oto means sound, or So both of their names have something to do with sound. Okay. Anyways, so she is then like she kind of explains her situation to us, the audience, and then she's going out with her friends, like just walking around, and you can see they meet the headmistress, and everyone's like, oh, like with Suzunomi is amazing, she knows so many things, and the headmistress just suddenly gives her such a glare, like looks at her in a very weird way. And I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm guessing, I don't know, she was saying like, oh, you have to be like, you guys have to be perfect and all that stuff she was saying, and I'm guessing she did that especially towards Suzunomiya, because maybe obviously she's a headmistress. She must know about her situation. She must know she's actually a commoner. So maybe that's why she has like her eyes on her or something like that. Right, like keeping an eye on her in case this girl like brings her like commoner hobbies inside or something like that. I feel like it's probably like that, because she had her eyes on her. She was like kind of looking at her. Anyways, right. And then she goes to the washroom, and she's like, only in the washroom she's able to put down her poker, like her face, her Ojo sama face. And here you can see she talks about how she wants to become this, the highest degree of honor and pride. Ladies of the Japan title represent the finest of all ladies. Multiple personal connection guarantees them future prosperity for their families. Yeah, like obviously he wants to do this because she wants to prove something. What was the name? Wait a minute. What was the title? Noble Maiden or something? Wait a minute, let me see. Noble maiden, yeah, okay. So, right. Anyways, she's like, that is my goal now, so I have given up rock and everything, even though, that was literally part of her childhood. Now, as you can see, this is where she bumps into Otoha and drops her handkerchief, and Otoha's like, oh, gomen asobase? Sorry about that. Are you okay? And just like, grabs her hand and gives her handkerchief back to her. The whole scene, like rose started fluttering around. Yeah, and then they talk to each other, and she's like, "Oh, excuse me," and she leaves, and everyone's like squealing, and they're like, "Oh my God, that is that is Otoha Kurogane Otoha," and everyone gives like a description of her. She's a first year student, and she is, what did she say, that her father was like some kind of politician or something? I think so, yeah. Kijuro Kurogane, prominent daughter of prominent politician. Right. Yeah, anyways, so that's that. And after that, she picks up the guitar pick, and she's like, "Oh, what the hell? Who dropped this?" Anyways, she's surprised at the fact that it's even there, because this is like literally an Ojo-sama school. Who the hell would have a guitar pick? She keeps it to her, and obviously, it probably reminds her back of her like past memories. She's like in the car looking outside. There's like people there. There's like one guy like strumming the guitar and singing, and obviously she's like, I cannot go back to this life, so yeah. Next day we see she was like yawning, and her mother is like, oh, you shouldn't yawn like that, because now you're this Ojo-sama, this. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, anyways, they say goodbye, and like I said, we get to see a pink haired girl. I think that girl is probably her stepsister or something, her stepfather's biological daughter. I might be wrong though, who knows, but we'll see. Yeah, and then she goes to her school, and this is where we see Otoha trying to find something, and the way she was trying to find it was just crazy. Um, yeah, and then Suzunomiya's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" She says like she's dropped something precious, um, and yeah, immediately Suzunomiya realizes what she's talking about. She can't literally give her the guitar pick in front of so many people, so she's like, "Oh, like I don't know, like well, I'm not really sure. I'm sorry." And she then leaves, unfortunately, and this is where Suzunomiya thinks like I should give it back to her. Obviously, it's something probably important to her, so I should give it back to her. And she definitely knows, when something is important to someone, how much it matters, because of her own, her own father, like her father who passed away, her memories with her own dad. Because of that, she probably knows and acknowledges this the most. So she decides to just follow her and give it back to her when they would be like in a place where there's no one. But she ends up going to the forest and takes like goes to this outhouse, like, yeah. And when she gets in, she realizes that like this place is abandoned. And like I said, this is the part where they show the bird getting out of the cage, kind of showing that this is the like beginning of her getting out of that constricting lifestyle and being true to herself. So she goes into the music room, and she sees her playing the drums pretty well. And she was surprised obviously, but she's like, okay. She comes in, and she's like, oh, I have this for you. You dropped it, right? And she gives it to her, and she's like, oh, thank you so much, grabs it, and she's like, oh, this is very precious to me. And like I said, I already made a prediction. This is probably something that Suzumiya herself gave it to her when they were kids. They probably met somewhere. Suzumiya doesn't understand. She probably remembers it, and that is why this was all a trick for her to bring her here. And I'll also make another prediction. It's probably Suzunomiya who's the one who made her get into drums. You know, again, this is how most animes go. So this is just a basic prediction I made. I might be completely wrong. So I'm just bringing this up at the very first episode, because I feel like this is how it's going to go. Either way, so she's like, oh, like come, you play the guitar, right? Come with me. You should do a session with me. She tries to deny it, but and she's like, oh, but you recognize what a guitar pick is. And I'm like, okay, that's a weak argument, because obviously I don't play the guitar, I know what a guitar pick is, you know. So, but then she says like, oh, I've looked at your fingers as well, it has calluses, so you must play the guitar. But yeah, that is actually a fair, good, good guess, or a good proof that you could literally say that, oh yeah, this is why you play the guitar. That is a good, like, an argument, I guess you could say. So now she cannot get away from it. You can literally see her fingers are like calloused. So yeah, she must play the guitar. Now you can see this part here where there's a section where you can see um, like a little bit of a flashback where her picture and her father's picture just broke, on the ground, and it's like fallen. You know what? I'm just assuming her father passed away. Maybe something else happened. No, I don't think so. I was going to say maybe her father, their father left them or something, but I would say that that's probably not what happened, because if that was the case, she wouldn't treasure the memories like this. You know, if it was like something like her father left them or something, or then she wouldn't treasure her father's memories like that. Because she treasures her father's memories so dearly, it probably means he passed away somehow. Like, he probably died. Yeah, and then you can see the next scene where her mother is like crying or something. Yeah, and she says like, threw away everything, all that, threw away rock and everything. So she's like, oh, I'm a Suzunomiya girl, I don't know anything about guitar or play the guitar. And she tries to leave, and Oto's like, you might suck then. You're probably not that good at it, so okay, go ahead. Which pisses her off. Obviously, she's directly challenging her memories with her father, because they used to play together and everything. So she comes back and she starts playing the guitar, and she's like, okay, let's do it. And they start playing the a session together, and you can see she at first was underestimating Otoha, but then she realizes Otoha's pushing back, as if like someone who literally overwhelms her with her playing, and like it's like a vine just around her neck, constricting her, trying to overthrow her performance. So she claps back. She like plays even harder. Then both of them are sweating. It goes crazy for a while, but little by little you can see she gets back that feeling again. She remembers her previous, like like jamming sessions with her father and the other bandmates, and how her father was like, oh, you're amazing, like as expected of my daughter. And yeah, she gets that back, and she gets that smile back. Yeah, and there you go. The session ends, and she was like, okay, she played pretty well. But then in the end, she does a little ending bit, the Otoha, she drums a little bit at the end, and that was like crazy high paced, and it was like perfect. So in the end, Suzunomiya admits that, you know what, she got me in the end. So she's like, okay, you did great. Takes out her hand, and she's like trying to shake her hands, and she's like, you know what, for a rich girl, for an Ojo-sama, you're pretty good. Otoha's like, you suck. What does she say? Your freaking guitar is lame as hell. You run out of juice right away, or what? What the hell did you get so quiet for? You fizzle out like a damn sparkler? Yeah. And then she's like, you just give up playing. You're not, you gotta burn brighter. You're putting me to sleep. And then she gives her the finger, soggy pile of garbage. Quit playing the guitar because you're you suck. And after all of that, she then just kind of like rearranges herself, gets her bag, goes outside, and she's like, goodbye, and just leaves. And this happened so quickly, and the whole shift in tone was so sudden. Suzumiya didn't even understand what the hell happened up until the very end. Like, she was shocked. She was actually stunned for a moment. And then when she realized what she did, she gets pissed off. She's like, how dare she? But by that time, she's gone. She's just left. Right. And that's where it ended. So that was a great start. I really loved it. So, I'm looking forward to the next episode. So that is it. That was my reaction to episode number 1 of Rock is a Lady's Modesty. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of the show. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.